Hello and welcome to Celtic Roots Radio, coming to you today from Belfast, Northern Ireland. Celtic, folk, folk rock, Appalachian, bluegrass, Scottish, Irish, Breton, Cajun. If it's Celtic or roots music you like, you'll find it here on Celtic Roots Radio.
Park. With a cherry lit after dark. He first went there on a lark, and now it's all the time. Billy deals from 9 to 3. Taking cash from none to free. Cirrhosis at 43. He's running out of time. Downtown for fun. Takes change and when he's done goes uptown on the 21 and he does it all the time. Life was sweet for Nicole. But Joe became a Gran and now she works down on the stroll. She's there all the time. Shows from other shores. Bragging deeds done in the war. At night he triple locks his door. He stays it all the time. But lies every day's the same. Goes to work on the train, stares out the window and complains it rains all the time. It rains all the time.
Balachtain a Féile Pádraig. Happy St. Patrick's Day to every one of yous. This is the Celtic Roots Radio Show with more great new music and more crack from me, Raymond McCullough. And we started the show off today with a cheerful song called Rainville by the Town Pants from Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. Our show today is sponsored again by Belfast Girls, a best-selling Irish novel about 3 girls growing up in post-Troubles Belfast, now on Amazon.com, Amazon.co.uk, Barnes & Noble, Kindle, Nook, etc. You can also hear it on a new podcast which you'll find on iTunes. And for more information on the author, Jerry McCullough, and Belfast Girls, check out Jerry with a G and a Y, McCullough.com, or go to Jerry's fan page on Facebook for regular updates. Jerry is also a member of our Celtic Roots Cafe network, where you'll now find over 40 great music videos, plus information about some of our artists and bands, photos, forum posts and a blog. Just click the cafe button on our main website, CelticRootsRadio.com. And you keep on saying great things about us on iTunes and emails and on Facebook. David Tokar from Russellville, Alabama, USA, posted a message on our Facebook fan page. Love your show. Keep the great music coming. It's the only way I make it through the workday. Glad we can be of help, David. And remember, you can listen to Celtic Roots Radio all day long, complete with all the crack from myself, on our 24/7 Live 365 station. Keep in touch with us through email and Facebook message, and some of you are now following us on Twitter, Celtic Roots. And do go to your local iTunes store and review the show for us. You'll find our other podcasts on iTunes too, just by searching under my name. And what you're listening to now is a crazy bit of 12-bar Celtic blues. This is Bagpipe Blues from Needfire in Texas, USA.
City by the Lagan side, seems as if you've lost your pride. Where there's light, there's hope, they say. Hope will bring a bright new day. Met my girl at Cromwell Square, raindrops glistening in her hair. Strolled around the city hall, where the evening starlings fall. There's a house near Carrickhill, plants upon the windowsill. Whitewash on the backyard wall, curtains bought from market stall. Stuck it out through slump and boom, sleeping in just one back room. Saving for a bag of coal, long as waiting on the dole. Summers when they came around, spent a week at Belfast town. Ever got through the Spanish sun, a bus to Bellevue was our fun. Children now are scattered wide, one lives on the Bangor side. Another took a Queen's degree, said goodbye and across the sea. Carrickhill, Sandy Row, flats raise up, houses go. Streets where children laughed and played, now on rubble they are dead. City by the Lagan side, seems as if you've lost your pride. Where there's light, there's hope, they say. Hope will bring a bright new day. By the Lagan side, seems as if you've lost your pride. Where there's light, there's hope, they say. Hope will bring a bright new day. City by the Lagan side, seems as if you've lost your pride. Where there's light, there's hope, they say. Hope will bring a bright new day. City by the Lagan side, seems as if you've lost your pride. Where there's light, there's hope, they say. Hope will bring a bright new day.
That was a song from right here in Belfast, Northern Ireland, Blackthorn, and City by the Lagan side. We have another great talent here in Belfast, a man who has written many a humorous piece of verse, including the famous Diagonal Steam Trap and other poems, Crawford Howard, and he also wrote one called St. Patrick and the Snakes. Here it is. You've heard of the snakes in Australia, you've heard of the snakes in Japan, you've heard of the rattler, that old Texas battler, whose bite can mean death to a man. They've even got snakes in Old England, nasty adders, all yellow and black, but in Erin's Green Isle, we can say with a smile, they're away, and they're not coming back. Now years ago things was quite different. There was serpents all over the place. If you climbed up a ladder you might meet an adder, or a cobra might leap at your face. If you went for a walk up the Shankill, or a dander along Sandy Row, a flaming great python would likely come riding and take a lump out of your toe. Now there once was a guy called St. Patrick, a preacher of fame and renown, and he hoisted his sails and came over from Wales to convert all the heathens in Down. And he hirpled about through the country with a stick and a big pointy hat, and he kept a few sheep that he sold on the cheap, but sure, there's no money in that. He was preaching a sermon in Cumber, and getting quite carried away, and he mentioned that Rome had once been his home, but that was the wrong thing to say. For he felt a sharp pain in his cheekbone, and he stuck up a hand to his bake, and the thing that had lit on his gob and had bit was a wee Presbyterian snake. Now the snake slithered down from the pulpit, expecting St. Patrick to die, but your man was no dozer. He lifted his crozier, and he belted the snake in the eye. And he says to the snake, "Listen, legless, you'd better just take yourself off. If you think that trick will work with St. Patrick, you must be far worser nor daft." So the snake slithered home in a temper, and it gathered its mates all around, and it says, "Listen, mates, we'll get on our skates. I reckon it's time to leave town. It's no fun when you bite a big fella and sit back and expect him to die, and he's so flaming quick with that big crooked stick that he hits you a dig in the eye." So a strange sight confronted St. Patrick when he woke up the very next day. The snakes with long faces were all packing their cases and heading for Donegal Quay. Some got on cheap flights to Mallorca, and some booked apartments in Spain. They were all heading out, and there wasn't a doubt that they weren't going to come back again. So the reason the snakes left old Ireland, and this is no word of a lie, they all went to places to bite people's faces and be reasonably sure that they'd die. And the old snakes still caution their grandsons, "For God's sake beware of St. Pat, and take yourselves off if you see his big staff, and his cloak, and his big pointy hat." This is Charlie Gear now, another great fiddler, this time from Florida, USA, and the well-known Morrison's Jig.
This is a wee tune by Mel Monroe, and it's called Scotland, and that's a place I love to look at every day.
Was another local band from County Down here in Northern Ireland, the Lough Country Boys, and a wee tune called Scotland. As I've said before, a lot of the stories we hear about St. Patrick were made up long after he died, For instance, the idea of him chasing the snakes out of Ireland. There weren't any snakes, but there was a pretty evil druid religion in control here at that time, and Patrick was bold enough to confront them on the very day of the main druid feast. He picked the hill of Slain, very close to the hill of Tara, where the High King ruled, and where the druid celebration was to begin. And contrary to the royal command that no fire was to be lit on that night, he lit a bonfire, bringing him immediately to the attention of the Ardree, the High King, Leary, his druids, and all the chieftains of Ireland, who demanded an explanation. The result of Patrick's defence of the gospel was that Leary, although not becoming a convert himself, gave Patrick permission to preach throughout Ireland. As the druids had feared, the flame lit by Patrick would never go out. I wrote a song some years ago about this confrontation and its outcome. It's called Let the Flame Burn. A man on a hill, flaming torch in his hand, the whole land lies still by the High King's command. No one dares to put flame to a pyre, but Patrick lit up a fire. Let the flame burn throughout our country, let young and old obey his command. Let the world know we love one another. O Lord, visit our land. Now the High King, with his druids around him, commands, bring him here, who dares challenge my word. Patrick came and proclaimed Jesus Christ, King of kings and Lord of lords. Let the flame burn throughout our country. Let young and old obey his command. Let the world know we love one another. O Lord, visit our land. Well now, Patrick is dead, and the saints and the scholars are all led to rest, but the spirit remains. All we need is a breath of that fire, and we can rekindle the flames. Let the flame burn throughout our country. Let young and old obey his command. Let the world know we love one another. O Lord, visit our land. And we're listening to 3 tunes from Perpetual Emotion from Maine, USA, Banks of Lough, Gawna, Rolling Waves, and Willie Colemans.
Familiar roads I've walked and trod, down on cobblestones to see the lie of the land. The hedgerows overgrown with the curlew did fly, and my memory escapes along sand. Familiar roads around this town, I've travelled them all, been lost and been found, been soaked to the bone and staggered around at the bare of a head in the morning. Going home to you, going home. Familiar roads are weathered with time, along with the faces I've known since a child. 6,000 miles from sunnier climes, and rain clouds mourn a Scottish morning. Going home to you, going home, going home to you. It gets so that you don't know, and your heart it lies broken. Your homeland is your own land, but this land is my land. Going home to you, going home, going home to you. Going home. Familiar roads I've walked and trod, down on cobblestones to see the lie of the land. Hedgerows overgrown with the curlew did fly, and my memory escapes along sand.
That was Peter Daldry from California, USA, and a song called Familiar Roads. We're going to finish now with a song that many people mistakenly think is Scottish, but was actually written by an Irishman, Francis McPeak. This is the Sweet Colleens from Minnesota, USA, and Wild Mountain Thyme. Have a great day now. Sláinte agus slán abhaile.
Oh, the summertime is coming, and the trees are sweetly blooming, and the wild mountain thyme grows around the blooming heather. Will you go, lassie, go? And we'll all go together to pluck wild mountain thyme all around the blooming heather. Will you go, lassie, go? I will build my love about near yon pure and crystal fountain, and on it high I will plant all the flowers of the mountain. Will you go, lassie, go? And we'll all go together to pluck wild would surely find no other, where the wild mountain thyme grows around the blooming heather. Will you go, lassie, go? And we'll all go together to blood wild mountains high, all around the blooming heather. Will you go, lassie, go? Yes, we'll all go together to blood wild mountains high, all around the blooming heather. Will you go, lassie, go? Will you go, lassie, go? Will you go, lassie, go?
Well, that's all we have time for on this show. Remember, you can find out more information about the artists and songs played on the show on our website at CelticRootsRadio.com. And if you're an independent artist and you'd like to hear your music played on this show, again, you'll find details on our website. That's CelticRootsRadio.com. Tune in again next week to Celtic Roots Radio. I'm Raymond McCullough, coming to you from Ireland. Slán agus Banagia.